Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Freestyle. I'm Scott,
I'm Cliff.
and as you can see, we don't got JP with us, but
Cool.
welcome. This week we're talking about Lucy. She has the power. Our tagline to Lucy, directed by Luc Besson, starring Scarlett Johansson, Morgan Freeman, and Min Sik Choi.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Alright, and the plot of this movie pretty much Scarlett Johansson, party girl in wherever, some sort of tax write-off Asian country.
Yeah.
And she gets a bag of drugs put in her. Apparently they're the drugs that make you become the one, and that's what happens.
Super
and
cocaine.
everybody just fucking eats shit trying to kill her. Alright, this is the part where we talk about our likes. And for me, I thought Scarlett Johansson did a pretty great job and whatnot. Like, after she gets all her superpowers, she's pretty, almost like emotionless for like the whole movie. But like also she's, body language wise, she's like every once in a while she's, kind of doing like a nervous kind of tick thing and whatnot. It kind of looked like she was in control, but she was also tripping balls a little bit.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. She did like all this stuff where like she was talking to you, but she didn't have to look at you, and it's like it was almost like she was losing her human emotion, but she still had to like contact with them. It was really good.
Yeah, she definitely brought it, and like I think my favorite scene, with her was probably the scene where she ends up like it's like right after, she's gotten the drug for like the first time, so she's like, still got her humanity still and whatnot. So she calls her mom and has like it's just like the shot of her face and like the lights in her eyes and whatnot. So you see like these like spheres or whatever the fuck, and she's saying all this shit.
It was very emotional.
Yeah, and it looked great.
Yeah, and I would say one of my things I really like is Scarlett Johansson. Period. I mean, doesn't even have to be in this movie, but she really did do like a really good job of acting. And then it's like at the beginning, she really sold it. Like she seemed like a terrified girl who was in a terrifying situation. And same thing, Morgan Freeman. Like he's another really great actor. Like I just enjoy him in everything. And I really enjoyed the idea of it. Like I don't know if they executed it perfectly, but they tried to back it up with like some kind of bullshit science where they explain it in a way that we can understand.
Yeah, it definitely started from like a place like, all right, this is true, this is true, and this is true, and this is where I'm making the sleep.
This is the part where we talk about things we didn't like as much in the trailer, and for me, I really felt like they showed all the good scenes in the trailer. Like a lot of people make that fucking distinction whenever they're like, "Oh, all the good stuff's in the trailer." This is actually true in this movie. Yeah. And another thing is, I thought that she's just walking around with a gun the entire movie, and no one's like, well, not the entire, it's more in the beginning, but she's just walking around like just carrying guns, like walking through public buildings and shit.
A lot of unobserved people.
Yeah,
like even when she like changes her hair and she's just like walking in an airport, people walking around, no one gives a fuck.
Yeah, and lastly, I would just say that I went into it like watching the trailer, like you think it's gonna be like a really great action movie. Like there's not that much action. It's just a lot of her just
I think
doing whatever.
Yeah, they were like really involved in the story they had.
Yeah.
All right, and for me, for this like, I feel like most of all, every single time the movie tried to make it tense, it like completely made it irrelevant. I mean, like right after she gets the powers and whatnot, she's able to,
look super sexy.
Yeah, she's like real badass and whatnot, but it's just like, well, if she can just make people go to sleep, then who the fuck cares that there's fucking guys after her? Because she can just make them go to sleep or fucking trap them in their own mind box or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then like it's like, oh, but she's dying because she needs more of this shit. All right, well, she snorts the rest of it, and then next thing she's got all of it.
Yeah, they didn't do a good job of making it seem like there was an immediate threat for her.
Yeah, and then like there's just a lot of stuff like I felt like they touched on and then just like completely forgot about it. Like, there's the part where she like hooks up with this cop buddy or whatever who just like it's like, oh yeah, me all my cop friends fall asleep and my gun shit bullets and whatnot. So I guess we're partners.
I love you.
And then like there's like the next action sequence. She's like, all right, come on, let's go. And then he breaks with the logic point. He's like, do you really need me? She's all like, let's make out. You need to make me remember that I'm human. This is the last time we'll touch on that I'm human.
Ever.
Yeah. Alright, and this part we talk about our favorite moments. And for me, it was definitely like right towards the end. There's like this part where, Lucy's to her. Whatever.
It's like 25 Japanese guys versus the entire French police, which were like 6 dudes.
So big gunfight and whatnot, and then it's just this moment where it's probably the most emotionally invested I was in the whole movie. Was where like Odesu just like looks at his pretty henchman and shit, and it's just like, yo, shoot all these guys.
Do something about this shit.
He's just fucking cut back, and he's just like he's like really thinking about it. He's like, oh, I got this. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be great. Fucking runs out there. Fucking dude throw like apparently they just left the rocket launcher in the middle of the room. Doesn't matter. Perfect. Just tosses one henchman tosses up in the air, gets all shot up. He grabs it midair, puts in the view. Rockstar power slides into it, fires the rocket. Best part.
Wins. Yeah. I would say my favorite part also involved the henchman. It was towards the beginning. Lucy had the case handcuffed to her. She didn't have superpowers yet, and the boss is like, "Well, open it." Well, he asks her what's inside of it. She's like, "I don't know." So he's like, "All right, hold on." And the boss leaves. He takes like his number 2 henchman, and the camera is just pointing at Lucy at this point, and you see all these dudes moving around in the background. And when the camera points back at them, they just got all these like blast shields and shit, and she's like, this is okay, right? And the guy's like, yeah, it's fine. Just go ahead and open it.
Completely safe. No, open it.
Yeah, it was a pretty funny moment.
Yeah, man, I kind of really like the bad guys. They were like bad. They were like bad guys, but in like the best way.
Yeah, very typical Asian great gangsters. That brings us to the end where we try and rate this thing. Usually we do it in a 1 through 5 fashion. And for me, I'm gonna give it a 3. It's a very typical summer movie. Like it hits all those points, but it's not a movie that I'm like, oh man, I need to buy that or whatever. I mean, if I get a chance to watch it again, I'm not gonna turn it down. But I'm also probably not gonna be that excited. What'd you say?
Yeah, for me it was a 2. I mean, like again, I'm probably saying like I'll never really watch it again and whatnot. And I mean, despite having some fun with the henchmen and a couple really nice looking scenes, for me it wasn't that great of a movie.
If it didn't have Scarlett Johansson in it, this movie would get a 1. She brought it up.
Whoa,
Oh, well, Morgan Freeman too, but I mean, he's not as sexy. He's pretty sexy, but not as sexy as Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, definitely needed more Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, you can never have enough. But other than that, that brings us to the end. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave us a comment. There'll be links to Facebook and Twitter down there. And other than that, I'm Scott.
And I'm Clint.
And have a good day.
Bye.